Welcome to a special solo episode of the Ranveer Show. This one's about the new social media revolution called Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a voice-based app, and that's why it's that close to my heart. Because I feel with our brand, we're building in the world of voice because the Ranveer Show has now become a Spotify exclusive podcast. That means every episode of TRS will be available on Spotify 48 hours before the rest of the world gets to see it. This one's just an easy breakdown of Clubhouse. It's not a branded video. It's a genuine heart-to-heart about that app because I've been using it intensely and I think I figured a few things about it. This one might help you social media hopefuls and social media fans. Enjoy the episode. Slightly alternative solo episode today. We're reviewing Clubhouse. It's a new audio-based app. 2 years ago, someone told me that audio is the future, voice is the future. And I was like, cool, let's do podcasts. But I never thought of the other applications of voice. And oh my God, I got onto Clubhouse and I'm hooked. This is not a sponsored video. I'm also going to be talking about some bad aspects of Clubhouse that I've come across. Brands will never let you do that. But let's talk about the hyper extreme good aspects. I'm addicted to the app probably because I'm a conversationalist, and that's what I'm noticing, that the app is full of conversationalists, people that enjoy conversation. Podcasts and YouTube are always going to be my bread and butter, but Clubhouse has taken up all the time that I used to spend watching movies, watching shows on OTT platforms, watching series. All my entertainment time now is spent on Clubhouse because one, we're locked up at home for 2 years. Two, the way the app is built, it feels very friendly. The UI feels very friendly. When you open up the app for the first time, you're welcomed by your friends. They've built these very cool features inside the app which give you an experience of entering a room and your friends are coming to greet you. Considering the fact that COVID and the whole pandemic situation is a little unpredictable, we don't know how the next 2 or 3 years are going to pan out. According to epidemiologists, people who study viruses, no one knows what's going to happen. What if the vaccines don't end up working as much as we thought? What if? Then we're going to be stuck at home. And we're going to have a severe need for social stimulation. We're going to have to talk to people more often. That's what Clubhouse is doing. It's satisfying a lot of people's social needs. The pandemic has caused many relationships to break, many friendships to break. People are looking for freshness. People are looking for networking. 2 years at home means that we have to figure out how to network while we're sitting at home, and you can't really network off of Instagram anymore because Instagram shows you the best aspects of a person only. Clubhouse is a live conversation with another human being. If someone has a slightly dark personality that's a little messed up, you'll get to see that as well. But we'll come to the bad aspects later. The good aspects, you'll find a conversation related to almost anything. The people who'll do well on Clubhouse, there will be a fresh crop of influencers that'll come up on Clubhouse. The people who'll do well will have to be good conversationalists. They'll have to have knowledge, or they'll have to have the ability to sustain conversation, or they'll have to have the ability to entertain. With something like Instagram, if you just have a lot of money, you spend a lot of money on creating a really good looking photo, really good looking video, chances are you will do well. Case in point, Dan Bilzerian. But on Clubhouse, it's not about money. It's not what you're on the outside. You can't even reveal your face on the app. You're not talking through video, it's just voice. People are getting to know you. People are getting to see your insecurities. People are getting to see where you're not confident. People are getting to see the things that you know. My assumption was that there'd be no hate on this app because it seems like it's a totally merit-based app, but apparently that's not true. Did a recent Clubhouse room where we spoke about ayahuasca, the same topic we've spoken about on this podcast. But we got a parallel room where people are hating on us because we were promoting drug use. We weren't saying do ayahuasca. I was just sharing experiences. But I guess that's the nature of the times we live in, the nature of social media that we're using. There is hate everywhere. There is negativity everywhere. But of all the social media platforms, Clubhouse does seem like it's the most positive. And coming from a tech entrepreneurship side of things, I'm sure that that's something that they wanted to incorporate within the app. They wanted to make it a more positive experience. So, key good points. 1, it's merit-based. 2, it's very real, gives you a real social situation feeling. 3, extremely addictive because you can bounce between rooms, as they call it, different chat rooms very often. So even if you have 5-10 minutes to spare in a day and you don't know what to do, rather than going and watching something on YouTube, going and watching a short show on Netflix, you can actually just spend some time in a Clubhouse room, do some conversation, listen to some cool conversation and come out. 4, if you find the right influencers and the right people, the energies and the information rubs off on you. I do feel it's a slightly like growth oriented platform if you look at some of the rooms. What are the negatives of it? The negatives, firstly, are that there exists a very different kind of hate on this platform. You'll see a lot of like-minded people kind of coagulating together. There are echo chambers. That means, say you have a very strong political ideology, you'll start following people with the exact same political ideology. You'll get together and increase that feeling within your own mind. Recent episode of the Joe Rogan podcast spoke about mental immunity. It's basically your brain's ability to process information and then change your own opinions based on external information. But if you keep only processing the same kind of information, that's called going through an echo chamber. Your friends think the same way. The Clubhouse rooms you visit think the same way. Therefore, you'll really believe that the things that you believe are 100% true, and that's the only opinion out there. That's the only opinion you believe in. We see this a lot with people with really strong political opinions, and that's okay. It's the nature of the times that we live in. But if you want to keep your mind bendable, moldable, you have to practice the practice of mental immunity, listening to the other side of things, listening to everyone's perspectives, and then forming an opinion. I feel Clubhouse is taking the human race, unfortunately, in the other direction. That's just the nature of social media. People with strong opinions do not want to process opinions which counter their own. Yeah, mental immunity might go for a toss. Third, I think certain women that I've spoken to are finding aspects of it a little creepy. If someone follows you on Clubhouse, basically see everyone's an influencer on Clubhouse. Anyone can follow anyone. And if you leave room A and go to room B, all your followers will get a notification saying, oh, Pooja Gupta left the room where we're talking about cosmetics and entered the room where we're talking about dating. So all of Pooja Gupta's followers will enter there. A lot of women have had creepy experiences on Clubhouse because it's a voice-based platform. So creeps are coming on board and kind of hitting on women in a really sleazy way, in a really cheap way. One hatke feature of it is that this is also kind of becoming a platform where people are getting to know each other from a dating perspective, but that's not a negative aspect. It's not a positive aspect. It's just an aspect. I can't really think of other negative aspects of Clubhouse other than these. I will tell you my hope as a futurist, someone who tries studying things about the future and tries predicting the future. I also study social media in detail. I do believe that Clubhouse and Clubhouse style platforms are the future of social media. It is going to be heavily voice based because I've seen the power of voice now in Clubhouse. I've experienced Twitter spaces, which are also fantastic, but they have a slightly different energy. The nature of Twitter again is slightly older. Clubhouse is more Gen Z oriented. That's another aspect of it. Gen Z generally is way smarter than people my age because they had access to more information. You'll see that the 16, 17-year-olds of today are way smarter than the 16, 17-year-olds of my time when I was 16 or 17 in 2009 and 2010. Very different mindsets, want to learn a lot, have much more well-rounded perspectives, have a lot of data about different kinds of subjects, and because they've absorbed data all their life because they were born into the world of social media, they've learned so much, and now their learning ability is also really high. So they're looking for chat rooms to learn in, to stimulate their head. Gen Z is fantastic, and Gen Z is gravitating towards Clubhouse. I feel for social media influencers, Clubhouse is very crucial going forward. And I'd probably like to end this particular bonus episode of The Ranveer Show by saying that we started a The Ranveer Show Club on Clubhouse where we'll be doing live podcasts. I'll try bringing on guests in the future so that you guys can get a chance to build out our The Ranveer Show community and experience live podcasts and probably even take part in some of the podcasts. We are bringing on fans as a part of the panel. So say tomorrow we're talking to a CEO, an army legend. You'll also be able to have conversations with these people, these high caliber folks. Watch out for Clubhouse. My final request to you guys is follow The Ranveer Show on Clubhouse. And of course, follow at BeerBiceps on Clubhouse. Join The Ranveer Show Club on Clubhouse. And above all, follow us on Spotify as well. Episodes of The Ranveer Show are available on Spotify 48 hours before the rest of the world gets to witness those episodes. Guys, Spotify is the future. Clubhouse is the future. And TRS, thanks to you guys, and your love is at the center of it. Boom shakalaka. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Hey guys, I hope you like this special short episode. I'm contemplating going into this short episode realm when it comes to podcasting in general. So please let me know what you thought. Tell us on our social media platforms. Share the podcast with your friends. Remember, it's a Spotify exclusive now. So follow the Ranveer Show on Spotify. Episodes out on Spotify 48 hours before the rest of the world gets to witness them. Should short content be the future of this podcast? Let me know.